You were tuned in to episode 98 of the Goodfellas podcast. Your host G5 Jeff TV, aka G5, aka 5, aka the Guru. I got my main man with me, Boxing First Vlog, aka the General, aka Blunt, aka Blunt Bayless, aka Mr. 1K. It's in the building. What's going on, big bro?
Oh man, it's boxing 24, so just call me Kobe.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Big shout out to VP Shane. He'll be in here in a second. Uh, Before we get things started, we gotta do this right. We gotta do this right. Couple of announcements. Uh, Number one, article alert. Article alert. Uh, G5FTV.com. I need for y'all to go check out the new article, Division Kings Part One, penned by my man Boxing First Vlog. It's definitely a must read. Y'all ain't doing shit. Go over there, go read that. Big shout out to Google News for holding the website down. And we keeping the ball rolling. Do you want to give them a brief description of the article, or you just want to send them there?
Man, I think they're gonna get the gist of it when they read it. I don't want to break it down too much because I got more to add to it. So obviously, as my man introduced it, is part one. So read that, man. You know what I mean? Eat that up, and I'm gonna be feeding you some more with some great writing. We're gonna be super active with the pen game because that's a great lane for me. You know what I'm saying? My mouthpiece is real slick, but I think my pen game a little slicker. You feel me? So we just gonna show love through this boxing writing along with this podcasting that we share with you guys. And again, it's not really always about the money for somebody like me. You know what I mean? I just do it truly for the love of the sport. And I hope y'all enjoy the reading, man. And let us know in the comments and the DMs how y'all feel about it.
Yes, sir. So,
what's up, love?
got my guy VP Shane in the building. What's going on, little bro?
Surviving in these streets, bro.
Surviving in these boxing streets as always, man. Got a shout out family in the building. Conrad Boxing in the building. Said good evening. Big shout out to you, family. Michael Johnson, Boxing Talking More, said what it do. Big shout out to my guy Michael Johnson. We gotta get him up here one day for sure. Conrad Boxing, I like Campbell's story, but I don't see him handling what Haney will bring. We will get to that in a moment. But I gotta get these.
Speak to who you're supposed to speak to.
I haven't heard from him. So just off top before we get started, first of all, big shout out to Padman McGriff, man. Big shout out to Padman McGriff. You know what I'm saying? Came through yesterday. Came through, talked this shit. You know what I'm saying? We had a quality joint yesterday, and we are looking forward to hearing from him again, possibly tomorrow and Friday, and then definitely after the fight as well. So big shout out to the big bro, the family right there, Padman McGriff. Also, big shout out to Tay Jones. Big shout out to Tay Jones. Somebody that just came in and just really just showed that video some love, man. Like, and you never know where you're gonna get the love from.
What's going on, man? Is that me freezing? What's going
on,
bro?
You're good. Who's Tay Jones?
Tay Jones is another guy. Padman knows him, but he been circulating the interview crazy. You know what I'm saying? So big shout out to Tay Jones, and big shout out to Drew Titan, man. Big shout out to Drew Titan. Salute to you, family. You could have picked anything to, the back, but you know what I'm saying? I think real recognize real at the end of the day. And just the love you showed towards that video and just period, man. We appreciate it. We definitely appreciate it. And we're gonna link up. Like we definitely gonna link up. That's a definite. That's a definite at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Before we go any further though, there's been a few people who's asked me whether the fantasy league's over or if we finished it. This is an idea that me and Jeff had for years, and we're nowhere near finished with what we want, where and how we want to take it. We got so much more plans on it. But when you got the ambitions and the plans that we have, it just means every year you got to do better than the last season. So last season was at an all-time high with the numbers, with the payout, with the reward, with the promotion. So this year, well, not this year, this season, we got to go again, and it's got to be bigger and stronger. So we're just working out on like making it bigger and stronger, and making it more entertaining and more interactive for the people who's in the league. So news
Yeah.
will be coming soon, but unfortunately, we just can't give you a specific date yet.
Like it's 2 or 3 kinks we gotta work out, but they're very important kinks, man, for sure. Let me get in these comment section real quick. English guy, family in the building said, "What up? What's up with you?" Doctor Professor, big shout out to you. He said, "Salute, family. Great interview with Pat, man. Hey, man, appreciate that. Appreciate that." Michael John said, "Tay Jones is a professional boxer." Yeah, Mike, it slipped my brain. I slipped my brain when I said it. I know he a boxer, but it just slipped my brain, bro.
Well, I have to keep an eye on him because I've never really seen him that much. So I haven't seen him.
Said Dr. Professor Tay Jones is a part of the Deontay Wilder camp. You know what I'm saying?
Understood.
So, big shout out to Tay Jones, like for real, like straight up. Mark
Wow,
Nash.
Wilder's got that name, when you bring Wilder's name, it just circulates with people. He's got that kind of pull to him. So yeah.
I gotta head the Bama and take a picture next to the statue that said big shout out to Wilder.
I see a few new names. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button.
Absolutely. Mark Nash said, "What up, people? Big shout out to you, family. Big shout out." But enough of the pleasantries, man. We gonna come, do what we come to do. This show is basically gonna be Devin Haney, Kambosos. We're gonna talk some X's and O's in regards to that. A forgotten fight, which shouldn't be, but it is. Cool Boy Steph.
One of my favorites right there.
Yeah, one of my favorite fighters. Gonna be facing Danny Roman, who is definitely a quality opponent. And we got the undercard for Haney and Kambosos too, and we haven't really spoke on that.
Who's on the undercard of that fight?
I'm actually let Blunt.
Let's
kick it off there, bro. Let's kick it off there.
Well, yeah. Before we get into that, I just want another fight that's it's on my radar. It should be on everybody else's radar because of Shakur Stevenson, and that's the IBF lightweight junior lightweight title fight between Ogawa
and Cordina.
Cordina. So that's a very interesting fight. I get why Cordina is the favorite, but Ogawa's a champ for a reason. So you know what I mean. If you looking to wager on that, man, you definitely want to check out some tape and do a little homework before you why that's the favorite.
You know why that's so interesting for those who don't know? Ogawa's last fight was on the undercard of Kambosos Teofimo Lopez, and now they're fighting on the same weekend. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. When he won the world title, and he was an underdog in that fight. I think me and Blunt was live for that fight as well. When we were live for it.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said my quote. He was an underdog when he won the championship.
Yeah.
You coming in your first title defense underdog again. It's probably a situation you can't just overlook them too easy, especially if you trying to win some coin in that particular match. But as far as the other card, bro, I don't think it's international enough to support the main event. You see what I'm saying? Like you're in Australia, you kind of want some eyes on your state, on your country per se. So why not make it more of an international card to build up to this undisputed situation? I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I know they big with having their guys fight each other and, build them up before they go across the street, so to speak, to like the Maloney's did, because they got their fame actually fighting on, Western soil. So why not, kind of give some other fighters an opportunity to get their name on your soil?
Australian boxing is very, very, very interesting because it's unlike the US market or even the UK market, where you got certain fighters like Tim Tszyu, who are out the gate is already getting a lot of traction and respect. And you got certain fighters like George Kambosos, who had to pay his dues on the road. So it's a very interesting market because I can name a few fighters over the years where, you know, we all know the fighters that's come out of Australia, people like Lucas Brown, Jeff Horn, Zarafa, those dudes, they've been in and around boxing for quite a while. What I will say is though, when you're looking at this undercard, I don't know who's on the undercard, but it would have been a very good opportunity to put on fighters, showcase some of the talent that's out in Australia, some of the up and coming talent that's out there.
One thing I'm gonna go against you with just a little bit, not to say you're wrong, but they fight so earlier in the week. Their traditional cards are more your Thursday, Friday cards.
Yeah,
They're not a Saturday boxing. That's not their main day per se. So I think we kind of missing some of those guys that Shane is talking about based on their natural schedule. You know what I mean?
No, but I know. I just would have thought that this would have been because this is probably the biggest fight in Australia.
I agree with that. That's what I'm saying. If you wasn't going to go that route based on some of these guys might not have been lined up to take a fight Saturday, timing wise, contractual wise. But I think if you're going to again do that, why not kind of bring a little bit more international competition? You could have bought somebody from Scotland down. You could have bought somebody from Canada. You could have bought somebody that gives more of a Western, flavor, give a pull, get some more eyes.
We all know, and Devin Haney spoke about this, was the government. The government was the one who put the money up for this fight. I
get that, but if you're a government,
that's what I'm saying. If I'm a government, I would have been invested more into the up and coming dudes, the dudes. So we stay on this platform, so we're not. So like if Kambosos loses, really and truly, there's nothing else coming back from Australia. Obviously you got Tim Tszyu, but I mean, you want to invest in the next generation. That's my point.
Where Shane is trying to go with it, they should have had their Australian lightweight champion on the card. Yeah. So we get an actual idea. Okay, Kambosos lose the reign. Who's the next guy to pick it up? You know what I mean? Yeah. For our country. So I kind of get where Shane is coming from. They do have a lot of young cats on the card as far as their fight schedules. Guys 2, 3 fights, 4, 5 fights. So it's filled up with that. They kind of, like I said, they had the Maloney brothers on there, so they got a little bit of an international draw because they, we know them from Top Rank. So the card is not bad. Could have been better. Just from an international pull to get, people paying attention to their guys down in Australia. We're gonna turn the TV on. We're gonna, pay the pay-per-view fees or the ESPN Plus fees. So I just thought they could have did a better job making it a little bit more international. They're the big stage, so make sure you're getting some eyes on you.
Another thing we got to factor in is this is not your traditional promoter putting the bread up. Very rarely do you hear an actual government putting up bread for an entire card. So usually with promoters, they'll put a certain amount of bread up for the main event, and then they have a certain amount of bread up for the undercard. So what I want to actually do before we get into the comments is I want to actually show the card.
I mean, an example of this, Jeff, is Thriller in Manila. No, not Thriller, Rumble in the Jungle. Nobody remembers who was on the undercard for that fight. The government put the money up for that fight, and it was all about the main event.
Right. I'm gonna pull this up right now. Let me see. 1 second. Did it show up? There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so basically, just to break this down a little bit, you basically got down the bottom, you got three guys making their debut. You got 4 other fights where guys are, 5 fights or under. And then you had the Maloney's, you have the Junior 5 fight, and then you have the you had a Haney and Kambosos. I'm kind of curious to know what, how much money did the government put up for the undercard to get the Maloney's, and because I'm thinking if you can get Junior Five and you can get the Maloney's on this undercard, they probably
Yeah,
could have. They probably had a good amount of bread overall
yeah,
for the card.
probably. It looks like it
Yeah,
because
look
those
like
are
it,
three names that we all know in boxing.
and they cost a couple dollars. Like you're not gonna
Who, the
get
Maloney's?
yeah, Maloney's getting
I thought this was
Maloney's.
a money grab by the government. I thought this card didn't cost a lot of money.
I mean,
No,
I mean, you got three
How
people
much
on the
are you really
undercard.
paying Junior Five and Brown? Like that's not a
but
big
you
fight.
gotta, bro. But
I
you gotta
mean,
think
Junior
about it.
Farr and Lucas Brown. Junior Farr and Lucas Brown. That's a 300,000-400,000 fight right there by itself. Just Junior Farr and Lucas Brown. That's 300,000-400,000 just there by itself.
Yeah,
Mm.
you gotta think about it. You gotta think about it. You gotta look at their individual purses versus the matchup. So you take Junior Five. Junior Five's just coming off of a Joseph Parker fight. So that was
Yeah,
big money. That was big money in that fight. You
that
take the
was pay per
Maloney's,
view.
and
That
it
was
was
a pay
pay
per
per
view
view.
fight.
You take the Maloney's. They've been featured on ESPN for the past like 2 years, like in big fights. So them dudes come with a price tag. They
Yeah, I
they do
mean,
come with a
I think
price
I
tag.
think I think they probably spent pushing, if not if
So
not a
so
million, close to a million on an
so real
undercard,
quick,
bro. That's a lot of
what's
money
what's
on
your
an undercard.
overall what's your overall feelings on the card? Like, do
And
you
now
think
looking at
it's
it, I think that's a good undercard. I think that's a good undercard.
I
I
I
mean, my complaint, like I said, is not per se the matchups. I think, like I said, as far as if you really look at it, as far as the Maloney's is concerned, they're in some good fights. Got to do a little bit more digging as far as styles and things like that. But the numbers as far as wins and losses say these two guys are in good fights. I'm not even upset about the Junior Five Lucas Brown fight. Maybe Lucas got a little something left. You know what I'm saying? But to be honest, bro, again, I keep harping on the international look. You have an American champion down there. Why not give him a little bit more support to get the eyes there? You understand what I'm saying? How many eyes are you going to lose because it's not an international card?
You
People
know what I
going
think.
to wait for
You
the
know
main
what I
event.
think it is, bro. You know what I think it is, bro. For them, they know where they're gonna get their money back, and that's the gate. The truth is, if I got an American fighter in there or someone else, Americans ain't traveling all the way to Australia to watch that fight. But if I can get the people in my country to support the gate, because what it looks like to me, and I could be wrong, is they've got fighters that Australian people know. You know, Maloney, that's an Australian people know that. Lucas Brown, whilst he's past it, Australian people still know his name. Like they might not have got matchmaking, like the matchmaking might not be fantastic, Junior for Lucas Brown, but we know who those dudes are. You know, by getting names, it's like having a boy band. Like you're putting on a concert, you need as much people on that concert as possible to put on a poster. And that's what it looks like they've done, you know, and they're trying to
So,
sell a gate.
but Jeff, looking at it from my perspective, do you think that's maybe a valid hiccup that the pundits like myself can gripe about, or do you think it's just good the way it is, the way they laid it out, it just the
I
best they could do?
I think that it really depends on and it goes back to what I said earlier as far as the government fronting the money. I can't imagine them being overly concerned of how the card looks from a boxing perspective. They're looking at it like, how can I get my bread back, and then how can I get out of the red? That's probably their main concern. And on top of that, I'm assuming this is pay per view out there. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if they
That's
if
that's my thing though. To maximize, I get what you're saying. I get your point, but isn't it, if you're a government and this is not your norm, like we put fights on all the time, wouldn't you want to maximize this opportunity of stepping into the bottom realm?
who do you have in mind? Maybe that's a better
I
question. Who
didn't
do you
see,
have in
that's my
mind?
thing. Once I looked at the card, I didn't come up with names to add. I just didn't see flags that represented more of an international feel. This is such a big fight, a historical fight. You want international eyes on you. So if you bring international fighters to your country, to draw those eyes in just based on support for those fighters.
I will say this though. Usually when you get a fight of this magnitude, you usually don't get any names on the undercard. Like any names that you recognize.
Especially when the government puts the money
Especially
up.
when the
They
government
just care
puts
about
it up.
the main
So
event.
that's a good amount of names. Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. I definitely hear what you're saying.
If it was a promoter, bro, I would understand.
If it was a promoter, I would
100% understand what you're saying. But remember, Blunt, they're not looking at it for the long term in the sense that I don't think the government's going to be putting up more fights weekly. They just care about. You see my point? So I hear what you mean.
We can get now and get gone.
To be honest with you, this probably the first time they've ever put any wild bread up anyway for a fight. So they. You know
that or Pacquiao, maybe the Pacquiao fight, he might have put some.
That might have been the last.
Look at that fight. Who was on the undercard for that fight? No one remembers, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. But you know,
let's run through these comments.
Let's run them.
They're heavy. By the way, everyone in the comment section, keep dropping the comments, bro. We just this is what we do.
Like button, man. We need that like button. Hit the like button, man. Good vibes only. Big shout out to you. Said, what does Tay Jones do in the Wilder camp? Definitely too small for sparring. I don't know. I'll let somebody in the comment section answer that. I'm not sure. Michael Johnson said nobody was paying attention to Kambosos before he had them belts in Australia, and that's not from me. That's fair.
No, I had him on the radar from that Selby fight. I thought he was gonna make some moves after that.
I don't know if he meant like his country.
Oh well, yeah, probably. I don't know
his country. If he means his country, then I get it because they definitely went riding with him.
Yeah, you're not getting a big fight at home before this point.
Yeah. I feel that. My guy Bruce, what's going on, man? Big shout out to Bruce Goes, man. If you're not subscribed to this channel, definitely subscribe. That's a must sub right there, man. That's my bro for real. Hold on. Got some shout outs going on. Hold on. Lost my spot. Aaron Parker said, I don't know if he's trying to say super chat or sup champ.
No, he's like sup. What's up?
What's up with you? Aaron Parker, big shout out to you. Boxing Learner, family in the building. What's going on? He said, I like the Maloney brothers, so I'm looking forward to the event. Yeah, they definitely they've definitely done some good things, you know.
Well, what I can say about them guys, bro, neither one of them is a true superstar, bro. That's
correct.
My point.
Correct.
You want to bring a name, or you want to bring the next superstar, which I would say could have been your Australian lightweight champion. You know what I mean? Even though he's just coming out the Olympics, he only got a couple fights under his belt, things like that. But look at the list. You got a bunch of other 2-3 fight winners on the card. So do something
I mean, what's Tim Zoo's brother's name? Even someone like that.
He just fought a couple months ago. That's what I was saying. He just fought.
Yeah, he just fought in a keep busy fight. He could get another keep busy fight.
I get it. This would be his third fight if they could have got Nikita Zoo on the card. You know what I mean? So I get it. What I mean, you gotta give us something. Give us something, bro. Like I just thought it was. I hear what y'all guys are saying, but I still think the card.
I would maybe by the end of the show, I would love for you to run a few names that you're thinking would be suitable for your line of thinking.
All right, I'm gonna give you some names right now. You could have put Paro on the card. He's in the running for a lightweight mandatory situation. You could have put like I said, you could have put your lightweight, your lightweight champion, country lightweight champion on the card. His name slips on my mind right now, but I did a post on him just recently. But yeah, bro, it's just some home names you could have put on there. Nikita Zoo, we just brought up that name. So
what's the heavyweight's name? I forgot his name though. That dude that everybody's talking about, that big heavyweight that everyone's talking about.
Gallon, he just lost. Gallon just lost. Again,
I didn't even know that.
The thing is,
for me, bro. I had a nasty Aussie car parlay in and this dump truck. You know what I'm saying? And
he called him a dump truck. He called him a dump truck.
He's a rugby guy, bro. So he came over. I get, they moved him right. Couple wins, about 10, 11 wins under his belt. But when it's time to really step up against guys that know the craft, use their size, things like that, he's a fighter. He's not a boxer. So I lost money.
Yeah.
But let me look at this at the Australian champ, man. I did a
let me run through these comments real quick, Blunt. Mr. P. Depps, what's going on? What you say? Salute to you, family. I like the name Coward Nello. That's funny. It said G5 TV, Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz. Salute. Shout out to you. For sure. J8 in the building, man. Says salute G5 in the panel. Salute to you. J8 was in there heavy on the pad.
Yeah, I saw yesterday. Yeah,
he was heavy in the comment section for sure.
We're gonna get into the Devin Haney, George Kambosos.
We're gonna get into that. Michael Johnson, anytime a government puts up money, is all for investment by means of taxes for foreign and national travelers, just like how Saudi and
Saudi is a bit different. Saudi is a bit different though. Saudi's a little bit different because Saudi look like they want to actually promote, like especially Abu Dhabi. Because the reason how I know is because I've actually been invited to Dubai a few times to cover fights, and they work alongside promotional companies, so they're looking like they're trying to do something more long term. But I get what you mean, though.
Yeah, the government usually it's a snatch and grab. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they hit a lick, keep it moving.
Saudi want a long term thing, like Saudi. Basically, any big fight, if it goes to purse bid, expect a bid from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, facts. Fredo in the building. Great interview with Coach Padman yesterday. Fredo was in there heavy too yesterday. Big shout out to Fredo.
I mean, and he was coming with that smoke.
Fredo was coming with that smoke for sure. Dr. Professor, big shout out. Said how many seats does
53,000. 53,000.
Yeah, so it's gonna be they gonna sell that.
I mean, there's some stadiums in Australia that do 90, 100,000, 120,000 in Australia. There's some big stadiums in Australia.
Hey Doc, but that's what I'm saying. Like the confidence in Kambosos in terms of what kind of numbers he can pull in, the stadium that they put him in kind of tells you the kind of confidence they have is kind of lukewarm. You know what I'm saying?
If they had high confidence, they would have put him in a bigger stadium. But this is what we were saying. If we was managing Kambosos, we wouldn't have put him in with Devin Haney straight away. I would have milked that cow a little bit longer. I would have put him in there with someone like a John O'Carroll, someone knows, and he can build a fan base in the Australian market. So when we do get a Devin Haney's coming over here and we're doing 80, 90,000 instead of 80.
He's probably doing 80, but they know for a fact he can do 53 just off the fact.
Yeah, so they played it safe. They played it real safe.
Yeah, but if he wins, if he loses and they come back, what's going to happen is they're going to put it in a bigger stadium. They're going to put that thing in a bigger stadium for sure. Michael Johnson, I heard that from an Australian who was a boxing fan like yourself, Kambosos was unknown. No, I had somebody in Australia tell me that as well. Like in terms of like he's not a big name. Like, you know how Wilder's a big name in Bama. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like that. You know,
he made his name as a sparring partner. What people like, we don't have like a large amount of followers, but what we do have is like international followers. So a lot of people in different places in the world, and some like when someone in Australia, in fact, Andre Southgate should be in the comment section soon. He talks about he knows a lot about the Australian market. So yeah,
Kambosos he actually needs to get on. If he's on here, he actually needs to. I need to shoot him a link.
Yeah, Andre Southgate would be good for him to come on.
Yeah,
big shout out to boy Harry Garside. He probably should have been on the card. That's the Australian lightweight champion on this third fight. Definitely somebody that could be fast tracked. And again, fought a couple months ago, about a month and a half or so. So probably somebody they could have slipped in there, bro. So I'm gathering names as you asked me to do.
Yeah,
but that's his name, Harry Garside.
We got to factor this in too. With Top Rank being involved, I guarantee you they probably like, yo, we need about 3-4 of them slots. So we got to factor that in as well. Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more. He said, please shoot me a sub. You see the link. He said, I'll get you high on screen. and the man does have a bong on him when he's on live, man. Definitely go subscribe to my man Bruce. And you know the thing that's crazy before I get into the
just
next
hit you
comment,
up, Bruce.
Bruce was in here all the time. And yo, we said like, yo, he has one of the most legendary boxing voices
You got a
you're
voice.
ever gonna hear. Like he could commentate anywhere as far as I'm concerned. And we was like, yo, bro, we was like, you gotta get your own channel, bro. We love having you in here, but you gotta get your own channel, bro. So, but he'll tell you that though. So we love seeing what Bruce is doing, man. He's cut from the same cloth as us, man, for sure.
I mean, I swear to God, Bruce Grove's voice, like, it just makes me feel like I'm in the 70s. I obviously I was in the 70s, but like listening to a 70s commentator, like play by play, bro, his voice. It's not even so much the substance. Obviously he has substance, but I mean like the voice alone, it just resonates with me.
You can't teach a signature voice. That shit like Jadakiss and rap. You can't teach that. Like, you know what I mean? Can't teach that. Michael Johnson said, Bruce, I can't smoke. Well, you can get the secondhand smoke, Michael. You can get the secondhand, bro. English guy, Bruce, I just didn't realize you had a channel. No, Bruce channel is fire, bro. His channel is fire, bro. Fire. What else we got? He said, I got see, hey, listen, Michael J, he taking care of you, baby. He said he got edibles too, man. He got you. He got you. Aaron Parker, he said, what it do? Puff pass. He said, I can't do. Oh, Michael Johnson just can't do. He can't do anything weed wise. It is what it is. Bruce Gould, Bruce Lerner, boxing learner. I'm sorry. Harry Garside, Australia. That's the same thing Blunt just said. I still got love for you, Michael Johnson. Hey man, listen, just grab a bottle or something, man. Get a little drink.
Hey, we smoke for you, my dude.
We will smoke for you, absolutely. Michael Johnson, no Saudi, not different. Look at what they said. They want people to travel there.
Oh no, they definitely want people to travel there. I'm just saying, Saudi have more, based on my understanding, Saudi have more of a long-term plan. Whereas Australia, to me, if they had a long-term plan, if Australia had a long-term plan, what you would have been seeing them milking this cow of Kambosos. You would have seen them throwing with Devin Haney just like that. They would have milked that cow with Kambosos.
I got a question. Serious as cancer. If this works and they do excellent numbers, do you think they double back and try to get the Tim Tszyu, Jamel Charlo fight down there?
I mean, if that fight goes to purse bids, there's a high chance that they win it.
Yeah, if it goes to purse bid, it's a wrap. It's going to be down there.
It's going to purse. Most of these fights go to purse bid. Like, nobody comes out the gate with astronomical.
But didn't Tim Tszyu just sign with PBC? So how much PBC fights do you actually see go purse bids?
Not many.
Exactly.
But that's my point. The purse bid, I mean, the original offer would be contingent on what they do down there and whether the selling here would be bigger gate-wise, things like that, to what their scene is. So I mean,
that's a good question. I don't know.
Hey Vlog, let me throw this at you though. The reason why Al Heyman's cards usually don't go to purse bid is because everybody know if Al don't get what he want, he gonna tell his fighters to drop out the fight.
This is bro. All right, I get you with your Al and this Godfather control. I get that. I understand that. But money talks and all of that walks, even with them. That's why they have sit downs. That's why they have sit downs.
But he is the money.
Go sit down and talk to.
But
he's not the only money.
But that's why I'm saying.
What's going to happen to Al? I'm telling you, he's going to get puffy combs. Somebody's going to pull out a wad and smack him in the face with it, bro. Because this is ridiculous control that he feels like no one can travel, no one can go across the street and make a bigger event.
I mean, it depends on how much faith. To
me, it reflects my Al Heyman.
Hold on, Shane, real quick. So, Shane, you wasn't on the show when Vlog and I had this conversation about Al Heyman and his contracts and all of that. Now, we haven't had a discussion, the three of us, about this topic. What I want you to do, explain the Vlog Al's setup in terms of his contracts and his fighters? And I haven't talked to neither one of them.
I mean, it's very straightforward in the sense that Al Heyman is cut from the cloth of keeping 100% control. And it's very simple. Unless he can personally make money from you, if he can't make money from you, you're free to do what you want to do. We've seen it with Danny Jacobs. We've seen it with Charles Martin. Obviously, we're about to see it with Kaunaki. But if he can make money off you, if you're one of his A-level, A-tier fighters, or even B-tier fighters, he ain't sending you across the street. You see my point? Like,
But
and
that,
we've
that
seen.
that's
One second. Like, there's times where fighters in his camp have been offered career high paydays, and it makes no difference. Literally makes zero difference, because at the end of the day, he lives by this saying, which is not all money is good money, and he will rather wait it out and make, let's say, mediocre fights than actually make a massive fight where it's generating a load of money on the other side of the street.
So basically, it boils down to this: that the undisputed, very first time undisputed junior middleweight champion would drop the WBO belt because of Al Heyman. That's what it sounds like. That's what it boils down to. Because I'm telling you, based on what he's done here and how they moved him here, he'll never fill 55,000.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. But you know, we're gonna get to the comment section in a second. So people in the comments, keep it coming. But what I'll say is, what you gotta look at is, do you not find it a bit ironic? In the first time in history of boxing, Charlo was the first ever PBC undisputed champion. There's been no other undisputed champion on the side of PBC. Do you want to know why? Because he doesn't make he doesn't make deals with other people. Like when everybody else who's been undisputed, they've had to at some stage do a fight on the other side of the street. They've had to. They've had to do some form of co-promotional deal, some form of partnership with somebody else. Al Heyman doesn't do that with his fighters. So the only reason why he was able to do it with Charlo was because he had everybody in that division on his side of the street. But when Munguia was champion, when Munguia was WBO champion, it was desert dry. There was no chance of unification, no chance of undisputed. That was a whole separate entity, like a whole separate belt. It didn't even exist.
That could be one of the reasons why he did move up. That being he wasn't going to get that opportunity. So I get where you're coming from.
If you guys remember, there was a time when where PBC themselves said they don't even recognize WBO. Am I lying, Jeff? They said that they don't even recognize the WBO. So that's my point.
Hey, that's like me trying to get y'all to give my dude Tagu credit for that IBO world title. You know what I'm saying? So,
all right, yo, hey, vlog. Before we move forward in the comments, I'm gonna tell you this one thing, and this is where you veer off to the side. There's one clause in all of Al Heyman's contracts that you'll never agree with because you just a different type of cat. All of them dudes sign a contract with Al Heyman. They sign away their rights to have the final say on anything that they do inside of the ring or outside of the ring. In terms of decisions, Al Heyman literally has the final say on everything that they do in regards to their career. And that's where the Godfather thing comes in at. But I know a dude like you wouldn't sign that.
You know goddamn well I
ain't. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it is.
I mean, I get it when you're trying to, get in the door, and it's like the rap game. A lot of them dudes jump on that first deal, and
but you gotta be dirty, bro. You gotta be dirty, blunt, because if you end up being free like Eddie Hearn, you lose your fighters. Canelo undisputed. He had to do the undisputed fight on another platform. Devin Haney has to do the undisputed fight on another platform. The truth is, bro, if Eddie Hearn was dirty, this fight would be on the zone right now. If Eddie Hearn was dirty, because he would have just signed Kambosos up to a 2-3 fight deal after the Lee Selby fight.
Eddie Hearn is not really crafty. You know what I mean? And that's the difference.
Or maybe Eddie Hearn isn't a control freak.
He needs to be though.
He needs to be. This is a business.
Feel me. Eddie's the type of dude that's like, yo, we can get together and dance. It don't gotta be a lifetime dance. We can hit 2 songs, and whatever happens after that, if you springboard, you do what you do. You know what I mean? Maybe his money's long enough. Like y'all speaking about Al being so tight because why his money's so long, so he can be this control freak. Maybe Eddie's money's so long, he don't have to try to lock you in and eat every dollar for you type of scenario.
You know what is blunt? You know what is blunt? At one stage, Al Heyman was broke, and Eddie Hearn's never been broke. So Al Heyman runs it like, I've come from poverty and I ain't going back there. So once you're on this side of the street, you're my money for life. Eddie Hearn's always been rich his whole life, so he runs his whole business.
That's what I'm going to ask you. You think them PBC deals is lifetime deals? Because I remember I made that comment to Jeff. Because it's just what it seems like.
You can answer that yourself. How many dudes
firstborn child or some crazy shit like
how many dudes do you see that's an A-level fighter and they leave as an A-level fighter on PBC? How many dudes do you see that happen with? Because I don't see it. I hardly see it. Bro.
Sound like a lifetime deal to me. I ain't selling my soul to nobody.
And the only person that I've seen that not even A-level that actually left and they was talking trash about Al is Vanez Martirosyan.
Now, when's the last time you seen him?
And when the last time you seen him in the ring? And listen, I'm not even gonna mention his name, but we'll get to that later on. But there's another person that's affiliated with PBC, had a little run-in with Al, and his career been stagnant for the past 4 or 5 years. I think y'all can put 1 and 2 together. He don't fight. He's a champion. He just lost his belt.
Oh, yeah.
You know exactly who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The initials GR for the people that don't know. I don't want to mention the name. Michael Johnson.
Rest in peace as well, by the way.
R.I.P. to his father as well. Bruce, you better, or I will discontinue the Toker 2. Boxing Kings Archives. Big shout out to you, family. Said Devin Haney said in an interview that the stadium is sold out already.
I ain't surprised.
I believe that. Yeah, for sure. Said Bruce, apologies. Preem, what's up, Preem? Said G5 Jeff TV, baby. My song premiere internationally this Saturday. Fan will send you a link. No, send that. Preem been down with me from like God knows how long. Big shout out to Preem. My John keeps skipping. Hold on. He said, "Where's my wrench, bro? I'll get it for you after the show, baby." Okay, all right. Burt Wood, OG in the building. Big shout out to Burt Wood. Said Inui said when he beats Donaire, he's moving up to 122. Everyone talks 135 class. Who's the best pound for pound? But these top 10 fighters, 122, bad boys.
I know for a fact you ain't saying that to us. Bro, I've been talking 122. Me and Jess been talking 122 for years, bro. Blunt, I know you're making that face, bro. I know. Yeah,
I mean, it's like, bro, we on it over here, bro. The reason this fight isn't on the radar the way it should be, as far as the Fulton Roman fight, is obvious because it's undisputed. It's another historical situation. You know what I mean? And again, we was talking about the Ogawa Cardona fight.
Cordina.
You had it right. Cordina.
Yeah, whatever. The dude, what's his name again? What's that? Corona. That's his name. Anyway, him. That fight off the radar too, and it's a world title fight. So you usually don't have world title fights so far off the radar like this. But again, it's Australia, I'm sure they got a big international as far as a media scene and a lot of pull internationally to keep eyes down that way, and that's what's happening.
I mean, 122 is one of the few divisions where even after you see an undisputed champion, if Fulton fought Ahmed Aliyev, if he actually does fighting, there's still 3-4 fights I still want to see at that weight class. I still want to see Rais Alim get a chance at the title. I still want to see Rios get a chance at that title. I mean, there's so I still want to see Brandon Figueroa get a rematch with Fulton. You know, so
didn't Reese, wasn't he just recently in an eliminator or mandatory?
Yeah. Rios is in a limit. He got eliminated. He's a final eliminator for the WBA, I think.
Okay. So yeah, I mean that's lining everything. Keep lining up, and you got to think the same thing about this lightweight division. It's a lot of guys knocking on the door, and the king's in the room busy talking, and all the princes is still outside getting it together. So, I mean, the lightweight stack, 122 stack.
I mean, those who's watching,
check that second.
I was about to say that. G5JeffTV.com or Google News, Blunt just dropped another article. There's on basically there's articles up right now. Just go on the channel.
Division Kings Part 1, penned by BoxingFirstVlog, just dropped maybe about like an hour or two ago. Big shout out to him.
Man, I don't give out flowers a lot, but I gotta give you flowers, my dude. That editing on that article, primo, my dude. Primo.
Hey, listen, man. Hey, man, teamwork make the dream work. You know what I'm saying? Teamwork make the dream work for sure. Now, Bert, I don't know if that comment was a general comment or towards us, but 122 is where it's at on this platform.
Already.
That's a top three. That's a top three division for us.
You're on the platform right now. Whoever's watching this, we can go from heavyweight all the way down to 118. We're going 15 deep, easy, 20 deep, easy on fight. Easy. I just see that off the dome as well, bro. It's not even literally.
Ain't nothing. And Raees Salim is fighting on the 18th.
Yo, you could check my first IG page. I've been on that dude bandwagon as far as the dude.
Right. He's been on the channel, bro.
That's from like 2.5 years ago.
And for the new people that's out there, just to show y'all, like we've been moving and shaking for a minute. When Raees Salim had his fight on Showtime, this is within his last maybe like 2-3 fights on Showtime. Like he literally did his post-fight interview with Showtime, and then he came immediately and hollered at your boy. You know what I'm saying? First person. You know what I'm saying? So we've been moving and shaking for a minute. You know what I'm saying? But to all the new folks, we glad that you here. You know what I'm saying? We just want to let y'all know, like, it's dead real up in here. There ain't no casual talking going on up in here, man. We go from heavyweight all the way down to 118, and we get it popping. You know what I'm saying? Michael Johnson, he said, I said the Saudi thing before he was done talking. He right. Yeah, he's talking about you, Shane.
Cool.
He said, if the money right, I think so. Charlo wouldn't mind. Money changes everything, but the control of the money seems to be the problem. Let me speak on that real quick. So the fact that Tim Tszyu has an affiliation with PBC now, I highly doubt if it goes to purse bid. I highly doubt it. If it was to go to purse bid, yeah, like Charlo would either have to travel or drop the belt. Like it's really that simple because there's no way. Because Al's not going to bid and win that purse bid for that fight just to get it in the United States. Because if that was the case, he would have just negotiated it so it wouldn't go to purse bid.
In the first place.
Let me do this real quick. I heard what you just said. Let me revise the question a little bit. Being as though you just commented, and we did just see him on PBC. He has an affiliation with Al and them. They probably have some sort of verbal deal. Would it be best to maximize the fight and have it in Australia?
Agreed.
Okay.
Agreed. Yeah, no, straight money out. Forget the politics and Al Heyman contracts and all of that. The most money is in Australia. They're doing 90,000 for that.
We gotta get to the Stephen Haney. We gotta get to the Stephen Haney talk soon.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. We gonna get.
We've been in there 49 minutes.
Man, you know how we get when we get in here, bro.
Yeah,
and you part of that reason too.
Yeah,
I know, bro. I'm probably at fault in this one, bro.
Yeah. Shane be the main one detouring the car and shit and be like, yo, we going the wrong way. Be like,
yeah, I know.
Nah, but that's how I get it, man. That's how I get it, man. But no, Blunt, you're 100% right, man. Like all of the money is in Australia. Because I'm like, you talking a live gate, Then on top of that, you talking the TV deal. You know they're gonna have to work something out as far as the TV deal, that Australian money. So that's big money.
Marvel Stadium, just the name itself is going to draw eyeballs. Another undisputed situation in Australia. That'd be nasty to back something like that.
I read a few Heyman bout agreements. They are fair. I mean,
they're listen. His contracts are good as long as you're okay with not having the final say. If you're okay with that,
that's my thing. Is a fight contract different from a managerial contract, a promotional contract? Because a fight contract pay wise, what you're expected, blah blah blah, media stuff like that. Isn't that different than your
of course.
My question to Mike is what contract did he see? You know what I mean?
Oh, fair enough. No, fair enough. Mike, if you want to answer that, that's cool. That's a fair question.
Keep running.
Let's Birdwood, Shane. He said, I guess Shane odds that Inui versus Donaire in Japan.
I mean, they're both.
My dude, you got to check.
They're both Asian, so from that part of the world. So I can imagine it being mad numbers out there.
Yeah,
you mean eyes on wagering? Because that's what we.
He was saying, is it odd that it's in Japan? That's what he was asking.
No,
not at all.
Japan want to get their shine. They got fighters in the game. They want their shine.
Yeah, facts. Mr. Motivator in the building. Big shout out to Mr. Motivator. Said what's good. Birdwood G5. Fulton versus Figueroa was a war 122 class. I seen Figueroa winning a split decision.
It was a close fight.
It was a close fight, and I think what happened in that fight. Now I thought Fulton won 7-5. I thought he won 7-5, but you can argue either way. What you think?
On the live, I scored it a draw, but this is the problem with Figueroa because of his style. When you watch it live, a lot of the shots that Fulton land you don't see live. You have to see it on the playback because of how big Figueroa is, and he's very imposing. So when you look at it, a lot of shots that you think aren't landing are actually landing, but because of his frame and how overly aggressive he is and literally overwhelming with shots, it's very difficult to see what lands and what don't land. And his hands just kind of wail through, so it doesn't look like Fulton's throwing anything back or landing anything back. But when you look at it on slow motion and when you look at it on a playback and different angles, you can actually see that some of the shots that Fulton were landing were shorter and tighter, and they just were getting missed in the chaos that was going on.
Yeah, and I felt like Fulton could have made that fight a little easier than what it was. He went in there with the same game plan he did against Angelo Leo, and Figueroa was a bigger dude, more skilled with the hands, more powerful. It's just more to worry about. So I think he should have just went. Cool Boy should have just went pure boxer in that fight, and he decided to try to go with the Leo style and made it a lot more difficult. He gave Figueroa the chance that he needed to actually pull that fight off. Like Fulton's the reason why that fight was like super duper tight. But it was a good fight though. Don't get it twisted. Really good fight. Michael Johnson, I read a Haney contract by way of lawsuit. That's not true. It states basically the fight contract has to go through them, and that makes sense if you think about it. No, in a sense, I see what you're saying. I guess I was speaking more so of the managerial side of the contract. I understand what you're saying though. I was saying more
about agreement is made per fight. So like if you listen to what's going on in the news right now, Errol Spence is saying sign the contract. That's about agreement. He's not saying to sign with Al Heyman managerial for the rest of your career. He's saying sign the about agreement because that's a completely different contract. But yeah, continue.
Yeah. Aaron Parker, big shout out to you, family. Said GRJ. That is exactly correct. That's what I was talking about. I don't know if you know the story that I know,
Yeah.
But we can we can definitely talk off camera if you want. Big shout out to Devin in the building. Said salute G5, love your content. I just subscribed to your channel. Keep up the good work, man. We respect that. Appreciate you. Michael said, but 90K stadium of much money is that 5 mil. I mean, I don't know what the ticket prices be. Of course, they be lower prices, but when you got to think about it this way, Michael. When you talking about that many people, you got the gate. It's gonna be so much advertising money that's coming in because it's 90,000 people. You know what I mean? So the advertising companies are literally they're gonna take care of the overhead. There will be no overhead for the promoters or anything like that. Advertising money should really take care of all of the overhead. So all that bread that's coming in, that should just be straight cash. That should be straight cash, but that's the benefits. And Shane can speak on that because he's in the UK and he's seen cars that got 80, 90,000. Am I correct on that in terms of how that usually flows?
The difference with this is I don't know how they do with the site fee, because I don't know how the site fee works. Because out here in the UK, when you get a big venue like a Wembley or like the stadium in Cardiff that does 80,000, or let's say another big stadium does 70,000, it's the site fee, but it's also a case of what you will see is a promoter will buy the gate. Now, when they buy the gate, that means they ain't splitting no money with the site. They will just pay you up front and that's it. I don't know how they're doing it in America, but in Australia. Because 1 second, Blunt, sorry to cut you off. One thing is, out here in the UK, our price differences don't change. So if it's 90,000, it's 90,000 still at a very, very high price. I mean, you were getting ringside seats for 50 grand Fury versus Wilder. I mean, Fury versus White. You see my point? You were getting the tickets for like $1,000, $2,000, and you're still in the nosebleed, bro. So that's what I'm saying. The price difference ain't changing. The reason why they do that is because I bought the gate. I just paid for the gate. So everything from this point onwards is going in my pocket. So I don't know how they do it in Australia.
Okay.
I wanted to chime in just to tell you, from my point of view, I don't know a lot of numbers about boxing and blah, 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 but I ain't no idiot. It seems to me it's free money because the state obviously controls the land that the stadium's on. So whether it's linked up, it's quote unquote is Marvel Stadium. So that tells me Walt Disney has something to do with it. Gotta have some backdoor deal with taxes, things like that, where, you know what I mean, they're getting all this upfront money as far as the country and the government investing in it. So it just, to me, sounds like it's just free money, basically. You know what I mean? They jumped in, whether this will turn over. That's why I said, whether it's successful for the government doing this, they may do it again. They could be a factor in the next undisputed situation in junior middleweight, because it sounds like it's free money. He just said, you know, site fees. There would be no site fees. You control the site. You own the site. You're the government. Just my thought.
Yeah, in the Kambosos situation, you're exactly right. Like the government, there is no site fee when the government's putting the bread up. So yeah,
it's the same thing. I think in Saudi Arabia they built a stadium for.
They built the stadium. Yeah, they built the stadium for AJ. So yeah, there's no site fee. Like yeah, you're 100% right. 100% right. He said I seen both contracts. Fair enough. Boxing Kings Archives. I like that you guys recognize the lower weight classes as well. Not a lot of boxing commentary cover weight classes under Cool Boy. I subscribe because of Tay and Pad, man, and I like your channel. Hey, man, we respect that, man. We respect you.
I mean, we cover every weight class, but we can go like I'm telling you, there's no YouTube channel. I'll invite every YouTuber on this. I'll invite any YouTuber on this platform, anyone. And I guarantee you, it's sink or swim, bro. If you don't know boxing, you don't know. If you know boxing, you know. There's not many that know.
I'm gonna tell you how far I go with it. I just covered the Harry Carside, did a little preview video in the Matet fight. That's the Sudanese fighter. So we do cover boxing across a wide realm. You don't have to be quote unquote marquee fighters for us to talk about you. You know, dudes like me, I love the sport. So you know what I mean, I'm gonna help give you a name. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Hope y'all appreciate it. Yo, give me a sub too. You know what I mean, trying to get my numbers up.
Go subscribe to Boxing First Vlog as well. We're gonna put his link up in a little bit for sure. But yeah, Boxing Kings archives. We, like I said, we go from heavyweight to down to 118. We will talk about fights from right now, and we'll talk about fights in the 80s, 70s. I mean, we do film study. We talk betting on boxing. We do a little bit of everything on here, man. So we got what you need.
And if you wanna get a link, bro, we just forward the link in the chat
And
sometimes. Yeah.
that's the ultimate thing with us. Like when we feeling good or we, things is flowing right, we'll drop the link in that comment section. You click that thing, you write in the show. You know what I'm saying? So we are built different. And it's not even a brag thing. That's just what we do. You know what I'm saying? Burt Wood, the judges' score was BSG5, Fulton versus Figueroa.
I don't think so. It was a close.
I mean, bro, it's a lot of fights. I get Burt on that because I felt like Melendez in that Ramirez fight that I called this past weekend on the undercard of Tank. I thought Melendez won that fight, or worse, that was a draw. So I get where Burt has see a particular fight and just see it his way. These fights be that close, man. You can go back to.
I get that. I'm not. If he believes Figueroa won, there's no problem with that. But you gotta understand that, to me, like, there's a difference between a close fight and a controversial fight and the robbery. There's certain fights that's just a close fight and a judge saw it one way. I wouldn't call those fights a robbery. If it's 7-5 across the board and it's just one round either man, then I'm not gonna say that's a robbery. I'm just gonna say, you know what, that's his perspective. That's what he likes.
Yo, Bert, give us your scorecard for that fight. That'll give us a better idea.
We go into Devin Haney now. Let's get into this.
We trying to get through the comments. It's cooking in here. Hold on. Burt Wood, Killer Cam versus Haney. I hear more about the judges. That's sad. Bro, that's boxing. That's boxing, man. You guy got a home cooking fight. Judges might play a part. Mike said, have y'all ever thought of points like who gets paid on fight replays and why this day you play a fight from 30 years ago and you get your video blocked? I can actually answer that. So when you're talking YouTube, right? People's content. So you have different licenses. So you have and I don't want to get too crazy with it, but just a general thing. So if you have your videos on YouTube, your video is under a YouTube license. There's certain parameters you got to follow under a YouTube license. Then you have the actual content, the actual video. So for example, if I wanted to watch the first Canelo versus Golovkin fight, which was on HBO, that is a HBO product that has its own licensing. And then you got to combine that with the YouTube licensing as well. So basically, to answer your question, there's a lot of red tape. To be honest with you, they missing out on a lot of exposure and a lot of bread, because if we're able to highlight fights from back in the day and actually put it on YouTube and have watch parties and things like that, it'll just expand everything, on a whole different scale. But there's basically just a lot of licenses and a lot of red tape, and that's why a lot of people's videos get blocked. We've had that happen a couple times, but we know how to rumble them boys and get them things removed. You know what I mean? And W Right Side says salute G5 panel in the chat. Big shout out to you, family. With that being said, let's get into Devin Haney, Kambosos. Let's get into the X's and O's of this fight. And it's been a lot of trash talk and all that. We done did that already. We talk X's and O's over here. You know what I'm saying? So actually, Vlog, I'm going to start with you. Keys to victory for Kambosos. Keys to victory for Haney.
I'm glad you said Kambosos, because this nigga will just be talking about Haney all damn day.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. When I analyze fights, my third eye is so nasty, bro. I'm so nasty with this shit. It takes me about 30 seconds. And I'm gonna tell you who gonna win this fight. Now, whether we get the judges to see it the proper way, that's a totally different story. But as far as analyzing, it's easy to see who should win certain fights. And in this particular fight, I'm going to go with Kambosos. This is a dude that got a lot of velocity. I wouldn't say he's a fast guy. I think Haney's the faster, speedier guy. But he does have velocity and a lot of intent. In this particular fight, bro, he got to take some of that steam off his shots to give him some energy to be defensive. You see what I'm saying? If you so worried about your offense, putting power behind it, being precise, and that's so much energy you're putting into it. If you take a little bit of steam off, just laying your shots, you can roll defensively. You can get back home faster. I think that's a big key. I don't know if anybody analyzing it from that perspective. And for Haney, it's easy, baby. Keep your space, double jab, shoot the right hand, twerk the body, keep distance. It's about range. You're I wouldn't say per se the bigger guy, but you're the bigger guy, you're the younger guy. Control the fight and you'll win it.
Go ahead, Shane.
I mean, one of the things that I'm hearing a lot of, and I'm going to get to that in a second, but what I wanted to talk about first is the mental side of things. I kind of feel like it's difficult because I don't know what approach Kambosos is going to take mentally. What people have to understand is you're a whole different individual when you're coming in as an opponent as when you're coming in as a champion, you know, and especially when you're in your hometown, you got the fans behind you. Kambosos has become accustomed to being the underdog, being the B-side. He's learned how to fight off that. And he's used that energy, that enthusiasm, the fact that everybody's doubted him as his fuel. Now the coins flip and the coins turn. How does that affect him mentally? That's the part I don't know.
That supports what I said. Take something off your shots. Don't be so aggressive. That supports what I said. So great statement, Shane. Great statement.
I mean, I should say it's me, baby, but I'm not gonna steal your thunder. But what I will say is when we're breaking down the technicals, I see a lot of people talk about Kambosos keeps his head on the line, he fights in straight lines. What I don't hear people say is for all the strong things that Devin Haney does, what takes away, if you keep your head on the line and you keep your feet on the line, what you need to do is angle off. Devin Haney rarely angles off, so that's something I want to see him do. And when I mean angle off, I actually want to see him spin and turn, turn Kambosos, because especially when you're centering, because to me, Devin Haney's going to win the fight at long range. He's got longer arms, he's got a much quicker jab. To me, he's just a better, longer range fighter. I guess Kambosos is going to be looking to make more of his success mid to close range. So that's where you want to be spinning this dude, and not just spin the dude defensively and get yourself out of there, but spin the dude and let off shots at different angles. Whereas when he's throwing that jab, when he's throwing that right hand, you're taking it away by not getting out of the pocket from the front door or the back door, but you're getting out the pocket from the side doors. And you're using the side doors and you're paying him on your way out.
Let me real quick, Jeff, before you go. I get what you're saying, Shane. What it is when we asking that of Haney in this fight, he's normally the guy coming forward and pressing. And if you're the presser, you don't have to spin. But this fight would give him the opportunity to do what Shane just said, because Kambosos is an aggressive sort of guy fighting from that underdog mentality. You're going to come forward. You're going to press the fight. And it should open the door to see some of that aggressive pivot boxing, not defensive, as Shane was saying. So I get your point.
And another thing is, sorry to cut off Jeff, I know Jeff wants to go. I hear a lot of people talk about the jab, and there's different ways to throw the jab. Me personally, what Kambosos does like to do is he does this thing where he tries to like almost anticipate shots. He doesn't really got great defense. He more tries to anticipate and premeditate the shots that's coming instead of actually seeing the shot and slipping. I would actually throw dummy jabs. So throw light jabs to set up other shots. Reason why is because when you throw light jabs and you vary the range of vary the speed of your punches, especially off a jab, the dude's more likely to walk into something else off the back of it, because he's thinking that the jab's coming at a certain speed and he's moving his head. Like, this guy does a thing where he kind of shells up and he uses the back of, like, you know how Floyd uses the inside of his shoulders to block shots? He uses the back of his shot and he really turns his head on and he gets real low. He only does that out of, what's the word? Premeditation. Like, he's expecting a shot to come. He doesn't see the shot and then slip it. So to me, if Devin Haney can vary the speed of his jab, he can walk Kambosos onto punches. Kambosos, on the other hand, if I'm Kambosos, the one thing I'm looking to do is really try and frustrate Devin Haney. So from minute one, I'm doing as much bravado as possible. Like, really trying to psychologically get into this dude's head, get this dude off his game plan, because you're not going to beat this dude technically. And I don't think he has the power to knock Devin Haney out either. So he's got to get into Devin Haney's head early so Devin Haney can come off the game plan. Without Bill Haney, you never know. He might not be as disciplined. I'm not saying he's not, but if I'm Kambosos, I'm arms behind my back, a lot of fury, early shuffling, all of that, just to get into Devin Haney's head as early as possible, just to win rounds purely and simply off bravado, Tyson Fury style. You know, that's what I would do.
To add to that a little bit, if you're gonna do that and try to win psychologically, I think throwing heavy shots, some haymakers, some real double up hooks, like things that you're not used to doing, that makes Devin think. Well, he throws more combinations, so he throwing heavy singles now. Is this gonna be his game plan? So there's another aspect of trying to play a mental mind game. Jeff, get in here, bro.
I think for Kambosos, just from a technical standpoint, he does that same hop step that Shakur does. That hop step to the left, get his foot on the outside. Even when he's trying to fight, even when he's fighting someone that has the same stance as him, he usually does that hop step before he starts throwing in combinations. He's definitely going to have to do that. He's definitely going to have to do that in this fight. From a mental standpoint, a lot of people perform better as the underdog. You get them the keys to the car, they don't know how to drive. So we got to see if Kambosos knows how to drive. You know, he got the keys to the car now. And I would say the third thing for Kambosos is I haven't seen Kambosos really be patient in a fight. Like he puts himself in harm, but he puts himself in
that.
But
Jeff is right, bro. He is a guy that is a clasher. He wants to win the clash. So I get where Jeff is coming from.
But I thought he displayed a little bit of patience in the Teofimo fight. I thought Teofimo was very erratic in that fight, overly aggressive, and he actually guided his time.
But Gene, you got to factor this in though. He had over a year to train for Teofimo, and he had to drop on him. When Kambosos is in a traditional fight where he ain't got to drop on somebody, he's not really that patient. He's not really that patient. You know what I'm saying? So with Kambosos, he does have to show a little bit of patience in this fight. He can't come in there super reckless. Like Haney's too sharp for that. He's too sharp for that.
Take something off your shots. Y'all both keep agreeing with me, just in different formats.
I'm trying to get my format out so I can agree with you more, brother.
Go ahead, baby.
I'm not disagreeing. The reason why I'm saying it is because I understand what you're saying, and I guess Teofimo was so aggressive that he had to be a little bit cautious in that fight because Teofimo just came out like a gun. But I kind of feel like I wouldn't say, I don't know, man. I wouldn't say Kambosos is that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
But when you think, we can settle this real quick. When you think of Kambosos, do you think patience?
When I think of Kambosos, I really don't have an impression. I just feel it's a dude who thinks he can box, and he tries to box to his best of ability. Like he's a dude who tries to be technical, but he's not really that technical. I don't really think he's that skilled.
But bro, his you got to remember, he trained with Horn, he's trained with Manny, and with those guys, not Horn per se, but Manny, his feet always doing this. pat, 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 pat. His feet's
And
always doing that. Is do
and
pat,
if
pat,
you
pat.
look at it, he punches in the volume that Manny does too, combinates. So he does mimic Manny's style a little bit. Obviously, he's not defensively sound as Manny, I think. You know what I
No,
mean?
I think he's better. I think he's better defensively than Manny. I think he's better defensively than Manny.
Well,
He hasn't seen the competition that Manny has either to really challenge his defense.
Well, the thing about Manny definitely kept his head off the line more so than Kambosos does. Kambosos definitely keeps his head on the line for sure.
Yeah, that's
I was
Kambosos don't really slip. He bends his head down. You know, like you got certain fighters, you slip left to right.
yeah.
He bends his head down, which is still on the line. Literally,
It's still 12. Yeah, it's still 12:30. It's still 12:30. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For Haney, this what I need from. Oh, hold on, one more thing with Kambosos. Kambosos has to put that mental pressure on Devin Haney in terms of winning rounds early, because if he's winning rounds early, let's just say Kambosos is up after 6-7 rounds. I don't care who Haney has in his corner. He's going to be pressing because he knows he's on the road and he don't want to see them judges. So you're going to see things out of Haney that you probably usually wouldn't see because of the circumstances that he's in.
This is one of the few fights.
Can I counter that? Can I counter that just one time? Just based on what we've seen previous and it's been proven to be evident based on, they put the information out. Will he have a mental edge knowing he's at home? That all right, we already got 3 rounds in. I ain't gonna say 4 rounds. I ain't gonna give him that Canelo-esque, bravado with the judges, with the, being the favorite, the hometown or the home country guy. But what if he does think in his mind, okay, I'm that guy, 1-2, I'm good. So all I don't necessarily have to put a lot of offense out. So would that already have Devin pressing too early because he could be on the back foot based on how judges are?
No. But the problem is though, and I'm glad he brought that Blunt brought that question up. What Devin Haney can't afford is having rounds where there's low activity, because low activity could easily equal, I'm just going to give the round to Kambosos. But he's got to be a little bit greedy in this fight.
But Haney's never not busy. That's the thing. He's never not busy. Offensively, he has a pretty good output.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying he can't be, because he said, is it a case of I'm just going to take, like, I got 2 rounds already. I'm just saying.
I don't think so. I don't think Kambosos mentally is built like that to even be thinking that way. Like, he's a gun. Like, he's going to shoot. Like, he's going to shoot.
Bro, we want him. Hold on, Shane. Hold on. Again, we just said, or Shane just said, he's in a different position. Is he starting to think from that I'm the guy position? I don't have to go in here and be overtly aggressive and underdogish from round 1 to 3.
He can't afford to do that.
I think he can. I honestly.
That's why I brought it up, Jeff. That's all I'm saying.
I think he can.
But listen, bro, I haven't even got through my whole breakdown.
Go on.
You know what I'm saying? All right, so here's the thing. So here's the thing with Kambosos. I don't care that he's fighting at home. He knows he's the underdog. He knows he's the underdog. He knows he's the underdog. So yeah, he's fighting at home. But when you're coming into a fight, yeah, he has the belts, but he knows he's behind the 8 ball. He's not more talented than Devin Haney. Okay. He's not more talented than Devin Haney. So I don't think he's gonna. Let me ask
you a question. A close round, who would you feel the judges are going to give it to?
They're going to give it to Kambosos.
But that's he has to. But Shane, a low output round.
But Shane, that's what I'm saying. You can't have that mentality. You got to work to make it a close round. And the reason I said that is because Devin Haney works.
I get you. No, off that premise alone, you're right.
He's not fighting. He's not fighting AB. He's not fighting.
If you heard what I said,
that's why I added, Jeff. Should he be coming out super aggressive, as if he's looking for a KO? Devin Haney. No. That's what I'm asking.
No.
That's why I'm saying Devin Haney can't afford to. And this fight, he has to be a little bit greedy because I feel like any round where, let's say, you land 10 punches and Kambosos land 7, they might sway to Kambosos. In this fight, you might have to get greedy because you can't afford for there to be even a slightest of maybe a 12-9 in terms of punch connection, 15-12 in terms of punch connection. You might have to be greedy in this
I'm
because
gonna tell you where I'm kind of lying in the middle with this one. Kambosos is a busy fighter, flawed but busy. His feet is busy when he throws punches. He throws the combinations. He's busy. Devin Haney is busy. The difference between the two, I'm like, Haney's physically more gifted, boxing wise, better IQ. He's more talented. When it comes down to it, what Haney has to do, now, getting greedy, yeah, if it's 3-3, 4-4 after 8, yeah, Devin Haney's got a problem.
No, but I don't mean greedy. I guess I shouldn't have used the word.
What's
greedy.
your definition of greedy?
I just mean this, bro. We see this all the time with Devin Haney. When he's landing a counter punch, he lands a single and he's on the back again. I just think you got to go 2s and 3s instead of win the exchange, win every single exchange. Don't think, oh, he won that exchange. Okay, cool. No, win every single exchange, especially early.
That's my thing, bro. I don't want based on. Okay, I believe in his chin, but what we don't want is a psychological thing early in the fight where Shane is saying win every exchange. What if one of those exchanges he gets clipped? You see what I'm saying? Like if you going in,
but that's why I'm saying I wouldn't be. To me, you can win exchange. This is what I'm saying. It's almost a Loma style. You're gonna have to go in there where you're very, very offensive, but you're using your feet. You're taking advantage of your feet. So to me, I'm looking at it like this. If I'm Devin Haney, I'm looking side doors all day, left and rights all day. So I'm throwing straight jabs, of course. But the reason why I'm saying I just don't feel like a jab alone is going to be able to win this fight is because if the fight is close in terms of punch connection per round, I can see them giving the round to Kambosos. And I don't feel like Devin Haney can just win a fight purely and simply off a jab, especially if the rounds are close. Especially when he's not fighting a Linares, he's not fighting a Jojo Diaz, who's literally, let's keep it real, their feet are relatively slow. I'm not saying Kambosos' feet is quick, but they're much faster than Linares and Jojo Diaz.
Hey Shane, but you can take that logic and apply it to any fighter that fights on the road.
I'm basing it on styles though. Certain fighters don't have to worry about that because they got a racer in power.
No, but your main point is if it's close in punch output, the home guy gets the round. You can apply that to any guy that has a home.
Of course.
All right, go ahead, Vlog. Go
ahead. I think I would. This is me being Haney. Now that we really digging into this shit, I'm off the back foot, bro. My front foot power. My front foot power hasn't been there. So if I set the range, feinting jabs, throwing soft jabs, making him want to be greedy off of that, my power could actually be on the back foot and could be a single. Most people expected to come off a combination from him, things like that. But his last time he, really, I don't want to use the word, but he murdered somebody in the ring. It was off a single. And I think it should come off the back foot. You know what I mean? I think we keep seeing Haney pressing because he's the bigger guy, throwing the jab, controlling the fight that way. And as Shane said, trying to win every exchange. Maybe let the fight come to him. You know what I mean? That's why I was saying I don't think he should come out gunning because he could be behind the 8-ball card wise.
We're not sorry to cut you off, Jeff. When I'm saying not being greedy and winning exchanges, I just want to see Devin Haney be quite assertive. So don't move back unless this dude makes you move back.
Yeah,
don't draw the line in the sand in this fight and say you're going to do what I want you to do. A bit like what Bivol done to Canelo. Like I'm going to tell you where you're going to fight and when to fight. That's what I would say.
I don't want to see Devin Haney on the back foot if he's not given a reason to. You don't want to give the judges any reason to give Kambosos a
Oh,
round. There's a
Devin
lot
Haney
of
was retreating.
he was
Devin
on the
Haney was
he was
running.
on the back foot. He was retreating. I'm gonna get Kambosos.
No. I'm saying I looked at it as a you with this fight, you can't do the same fight and expect to win. I think Devin has to show some diversity, be front foot some rounds, suck him into some power shots instead of being so aggressive that you're opening yourself up to his speedy hands. Not the fastest hands, but he has some velocity. So you don't want to open yourself up trying to combine off the front foot. Maybe sandbagging to get your power off that way, changing the fight style up, giving the judges a different look and making the judge work. You see what I'm saying? The judges work too.
If I'm Kambosos, you know what I would do? Especially for the first 2 rounds, I would deploy a hell of a lot of movement where there's hardly any punches landed. Kind of like Wilder Fury 1, where you just saw Fury just basically move for 2-3 rounds, and he just gave Wilder Fury the round because no punches were landed. I would do that. I would do that if I was Kambosos, purely and simply just to get some rounds in the bank.
That's not going to work because Devin Haney jabs. Devin Haney got one of the best jabs in the
Bro,
game. That's not going to
you
work.
can't jab someone that's all the way out. I will be all the way out.
But he's not going to win a round that way, bro. He's the bigger fighter because Haney's the bigger fighter. He's the longer fighter, and he got one of the best jabs in the game.
Jeff, we just saw the judges give Canelo the first 4 rounds. We know he got blasted in round 1 and 2. So we have to say that this is a possibility based on knowledge that we already know. And we know this is boxing.
But which story are we going with? You just right, but you just said to me you want him to change up, you want him to change things up.
No, we're talking about Kambosos,
right? From Kambosos' aspect of he can play the back foot.
But he can play the back foot, but that's gonna put Haney on the front foot. That's advantage Haney.
No, but let me ask you a question. How much times? And I know he's got a great jab. I understand that 100%. You got good understanding of this distance, great speed. But what I'm saying is, turn off the output completely in the entire fight. Turn off the output. I mean, bro, literally Tony Harrison, Jamel Charlo, bro. Turn off the output.
Shane,
no movement, no punching, no nothing.
Shane, you know I'm big on this.
Go ahead.
You don't ask a fighter to do something that they usually don't do. Now, ask yourself, is that realistic? That's not realistic. Not for Kambosos.
This is the transfer. I mean, bro, how is this?
And you know I'm right too, because you holding your smile.
You're right, bro. You're 100% right. You're 100% right, because I've never seen him do this before. But if I'm keeping it real, that shouldn't be a hard skill to do, bro. To run for 1 round or to run for 2 rounds, bro.
He hasn't done it. So I'm gonna meet y'all halfway. I got one thing for Haney that's going to win him this fight. And if he does this, it's going to look real similar to a fight that we just seen recently. When he draws that line in the sand, he needs to pick different ways to handle Kambosos when he meets him at that line. Vlog, watch this. We just seen that with Charlo and Castano. We was on the show. We was on live. We watched it. Early part of the fight, Vlog. What did Charlo do? He came in. He was a little wild. All right, let me grab him. Let's reset. Let me make him reset. Then later on in the fight, he said, you know what? I'm going to meet this motherfucker halfway, and I'm going to throw hands with him. Then then he started countering.
He literally just put the high guard up every time.
He put the high guard up, and he just started counterpunching. Charlo chose about 4 to 5 different ways to combat Castano when he got to that line. That's all I need Haney to do. If Haney is that good, and I'm talking skill wise, if he's that good, he should be able to do what Charlo did to Castano, and this fight should look a lot like that one.
That's the same thing I said by switching it up and looking for your power from a different way. Like you said, set the line, right? Okay, I can set the line with my jab. let you think you can cross the line because the jab either soft or was a fake jab. Then I can actually reserve my power to counter any of that sort of Manny Pacquiao-ish sort of inside combination that he throws, because this guy doesn't throw hooks and things like that. He kind of gets at you and throws like that. See, he wants to try to open you up for the hook at the end or something. He comes straight in throwing like the 1-2 straights, something towards the body. So I'm a sandbag him in. Bing, and sit down on something more than what I've been able to do on the front foot for the past 3 fights. Because he's been on the front foot outside of the JoJo. He did a little bit of back foot boxing in that JoJo fight because JoJo's just a press type of fighter. So, you know what I mean? But he hasn't been able to really, I think, concentrate on different ways to throw that power that we think he don't have. But I believe he still got it. It's just how you throw it to me.
And Haney does. Let me add this too. Haney does a great job at taking what the fighter gives him. He does a great job at that. And what Charlo did against Castano, and this is why I'm bringing up this fight, I had questions on whether Jamil was elite. And sometimes I need to see that one performance for me to prove that he was elite. And vlog, I'm gonna stop you here. Because you did the exact same thing I did. He wasn't elite when he fought Tony Harrison. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he's had other fights where he wasn't elite. The Castano first fight, he wasn't elite. I wanted to see that one performance where he puts everything together, and he showed me that. That's what I'm looking for Haney in this fight. If he's that dude, pound for pound level, he should give me what Charlo gave me versus Castano.
So okay, so just to counter
some comments, by the way.
One time.
I got you.
Shit, how do I word this, bro? Haney hasn't given you that perfect performance yet.
Not with a guy, not in a sense of a lot of the pushback as far as his opponents.
Okay. Now that's a no. That's what that sounds like. Now, to give out the same style performance, would it have to be a knockout?
He should get Kambosos up out of there if he does that. He should get him up out of there.
Okay, that's
he should get him up out of there.
You answered my question.
You got some.
I had Mel on my pound for pound way before unification. So
I got a question. I got a question for both of you, but I want you to get to the comments first.
Let me run through them. Michael, he said, sorry, what I meant was how many fighters don't own the rights to their own fights, because I believe there's a few that do, and they're on PBC. It's what you negotiate. You are what you negotiate. If you're thinking like, you got to think, a young fighter that's 19, 20 years old, they're not thinking about rights for their fights after they're done.
Thinking about money.
They think about money up front. I'm broke. Exactly. He said, Haney, don't abandon the jab. Look for the counter after the jab and stay busy. That's typical Devin. YSM, big shout out to you, bro. He said, watching him versus Mickey Bay and Lee Selby leads me to believe Kambosos gets outboxed. I think he struggles to counter Devin's jab. I will say this, and this falls in line similar to what Shane was saying and what Vlog was saying. I think with Devin Haney's jab, his jab is going to be consistent. I think at some point, Kambosos is going to get greedy and going to try to walk up in the front door without paying that admission fee. And it's up to Haney to make him pay that admission fee. It's really up to him to make him pay that admission in different ways, different prices. Sometimes he going to hit him with a check hook. Sometimes if he gets too close and he likes to lean on angles, that short uppercut on the inside, that's going to be there for him. That sharp shot to the body is going to be there for him. He has to switch up how he makes him pay. He can't make him pay the same way every single time.
Does anybody see the fight getting stopped based on facial resistance?
I'm gonna get to something in a second. I want to talk about
very good at the TO fight, and
I want to talk about
accurate.
I want to talk about stoppages. I want to talk about stoppages in a second. So I literally keep that in mind.
All right, let me something in there. I segue. Jeff, run through.
I'm gonna run through.
I got something to bring up. I got to ask both questions. That's why.
Anwar Willis, he says salute to you, family. Burt Wood, Killer Cam versus Haney. Who will body shot the most? That's a good question. You know what? That's a good question. That's a good question, and I'm gonna answer it with this. If Haney's on his game, Vlog, correct me if I'm wrong. You should see a lot of stab jabs and a lot of stab shots to the body, not a lot of hook digging joints because Kambosos moves around quite a bit. He keeps his head on the line, but he moves around quite a bit. You should see a lot of stab jabs and stuff. So depending on what kind of body shots you're talking about, Birdwood, like joints where you sit down,
and where in the ring you're gonna let your body shot off. You don't want to throw a body shot in y'all center mass ring. That's an easy step back. That's an easy slide around. You know what I'm saying? Or get countered. So it's kind of where the positioning.
Kambosos also don't fight square neither, so it'll be a bit difficult.
It's hard. I'm thinking neither guy is gonna give the other guy an opportunity to really sit and dig. So I'm looking for those stab jab shots, them little 1-2s on the inside when they clinch in, stuff like that. Nothing major.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of want to see Devin Haney not abandon the shoulder roll, but I'm gonna get to it in a second. Just go for these comps. At least you got a point that I really want to say.
YSM says, Shane, if you watch Shakur versus Haney sparring, Dev has another style and gear. He can apply pressure.
That's been his fight mode from jump day one.
I haven't necessarily seen him apply the pressure that I'm talking about.
I haven't seen that Haney, that sparring Haney stops Kambosos. I haven't seen that sparring Devin Haney in an actual fight in a while. He takes a different approach in actual fights. When you see him in that, Shane, you've seen him in sparring sessions where he's just killing dudes. Like he's killing dudes. Yeah, you don't see that a lot. You don't see that.
Let me ask a question. Let me ask YSM a question. Is that pre-shoulder surgery or post-shoulder surgery? Again.
I'm more talking about the footwork. Like me personally. Like I don't see. I understand what Blunt's saying about pressure. I know what he's talking about, calculated, educated pressure. But the pressure fighting I'm talking about is more like the pressure that you'll see in a Cruz, Isaac Cruz Gonzalez, just head down, forward, straight through. You ain't gonna see that from Devin Haney. You ain't gonna see a dude just walking down straight, put on the high guard, get to work, Joe Frazier style. You're not gonna see that from Haney. That's what I meant. But yeah,
I think you see that from him if the fight is brought to him. Then that's what got him caught by Linares. He tried to meet the fight right there at the end of the round. I'm gonna finish this round off strong, toe to toe. He got clipped.
But the thing about that though, like he did everything right except for he put his hand the wrong way. Linares was facing this way. He put his hand like this. There's no punches that's gonna get there. He left his whole front part of his face open. So he should have did this, and he did this and left his whole face open. Like prior to that, he did everything else right, and I was just like, "Damn, bro."
You're kind of giving away my gems right now. So please, I want to say a point, and it's really pressing me right now. I just want you to
go for it. Let it rip, bro.
No,
you want me to get through it? All right, I'll get through the rest.
Because it's gonna create a long tangent.
Okay.
That's why.
Big shout out to Keita. Said hello, everybody. Big shout out to you. Right side said, I think Dev comes forward against Kambosos. Kambosos struggles to be offensive on the back foot. Kambosos is not good on the back foot at all. He's not good on the back foot.
He's on the back foot against Teofimo Lopez, though.
Yeah, but Teofimo.
Selby pressed him a little bit. Selby pressed him too.
Yeah,
Teofimo Lopez was so reckless.
He was wild.
He was so reckless.
So Kambosos looked a lot better off the back foot in the Teofimo fight than he really is, because Teofimo was wild as hell. He was wild. You know how a Vlog, you'll appreciate this. Teofimo fought like he had a bet on 6 rounds or less. Now you tell me I'm wrong.
But also,
one round on that.
You gotta remember, he gassed a little bit in the Loma fight. So he probably came into that fight fighting like, yo, I just gotta let this shit hang out.
And I gotta get this dude up out of there. Yeah.
Haney didn't have the best camp neither, so
yeah, Mr.
Well, yeah,
Motivator said no. JB, big shout out to JB. I think Haney wins, but don't sleep on Kambosos. It will be a closer fight than you think. No, listen, it's gonna hold on. Listen, it's gonna be a competitive fight. It's gonna be a competitive fight.
I don't think so.
What I'm saying is, Haney is the better fighter physically. He got the better IQ. He got the better feet. He got the better hands. He checks every single box over Kambosos. At the end of the day, if Devin Haney is pound for pound level, he should handle this dude like Charlo did Castano. It's really
this is what I was going to talk about.
Go ahead.
I'm saying one thing about Kambosos is, and I know one thing he does real well, and you both brought it up, is the fact that he doesn't throw hooks. He throws straight shots. A lot of his shots, as Blunt was saying, is straight down the pipe, straight. And he doesn't throw alternative hands neither, which means that, Jeff, if you know when fighters they use a Philly shot, they go they do that because they go in right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand. One thing Kambosos does real well is he don't throw the same hand at the same. He won't throw left, right. He's not doing that. He will throw left, right. You see my point?
Exactly.
He's mixing it up. So to me, if I'm Devin Haney, especially when I'm in the pocket, I'm not just trying to let the dude tee off on me and rely on my shoulder roll. That's why I'm agreeing with Jeff. You brought up a point of what Jamel Charlo done real well. In the first Castano fight, he stood in the pocket and relied on his defense and his catching skills. In the second fight, early in the fight, he tied him up. Devin Haney can't just rely on him, even though he's got superior defense. He can't let the 3, 4, 5 shots go off and him just go like that. You can't do that. You can't do that in that fight. You got to do something to stop or to turn off that offense, because even though you might not land a punch, if I'm a judge and I'm seeing no shots coming back or one shot come back versus four shots straight down the line, for one, there's a chance you might get hit, but for two, there's a chance they might give him the round based on that exchange, purely and simply because he's just throwing 3 or 4 shots and you're just going bam, 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 and you're not throwing anything back. So I'm not saying abandon the shoulder roll, but you got to be real strategic when you use this in this fight.
Go ahead, Vlog, because I got something to say about that. Go ahead, Vlog.
Yeah, but my like we said, he throws the straight shots, but that leads back to the ability to counter, throwing a softer jab, letting him think, oh, I could jump in here and eat real quick, and then you really pop him. You get his attention. You stop that velocity, that aggressiveness. You know what I'm saying? So you can win rounds with more powerful counter shots than the volume, the traditional Mexican style volume. Right. None of it's heavy, none of it's landing. You know what I mean? Because some of that stuff that he throws looks soft. If you look at the Teofimo fight, all the hard shots were singles. The ones that dropped Teofimo was singles. He didn't drop Teofimo on no combination.
Yeah, I agree with I agree with both of you guys. Now, based on inside info, I think you're gonna see less of the shoulder roll in this fight. But I will say this with Kambosos, if Kambosos' footwork is on point, it's gonna be more difficult for Devin Haney to even set up the shoulder roll. So he should be more so catching and shooting versus actual shoulder roll. And Shane, and you're on point from this angle. If you're in a shoulder roll, you never see a guy in a shoulder roll and they're letting off combinations out of the shoulder roll. 9 times out of 10 is pot shots. A lot of times it's one shot, 2 shots at the most.
And mainly, Jeff, let's keep it. We all know shoulder roll, there's only a few punches you can even land. Straight right hand down the pipe, left hook. That's basically it. You can't land the uppercut. You can't really land the lead uppercut. You can't really land much shots. You can't really land the right hook. It's really difficult to land shots.
You can, but you're leaving yourself in a lot of danger.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing that.
You don't want to be doing that. So Haney should definitely be in catch and shoot mode versus a lot of this, because what's going to happen is Kambosos is going to he knows he's going to be able to get 6 shots off versus Haney's 2, which is going to look good to the judges whether he lands them or not.
That's my point.
And he needs to get away. No shoulder roll in this fight. So I do agree with that. Hold on, for the people that don't know, that's Boxing First Vlog's link down there. definitely go subscribe. You know what I'm saying? That was a quick commercial break. You know what I'm saying? go subscribe to my man's channel. You know what I'm saying?
Under commercial breaks, go over to g5jeftv.com or Google News and check out the articles that's up there right now.
Absolutely. And Burt Wood, he said, just saying Killer Cam has a better chance of beating Haney than Loma. I don't agree with that.
What?
He said Cam has a better chance of beating Haney than Loma.
Chance. I said this to my brother the other day. I said, if there's one style out of the 5-6 fighters at lightweight that I would love for Devin Haney, is Kambosos. Remove the judges, forget the judging. If we were just saying it's fair judging, bro, this could be a 12-0, 10-2 type fight, because this dude has got nothing on Devin Haney. Nothing.
Haney, the element of this fight is the fact that he's on the road.
Facts.
That's the element of this fight. Everything, and I know we joke around with Vlog all the time, and we be like, he be talking Haney. You can legit talk Haney in this fight, because he checks off. He's better than Kambosos in pretty much every single category. He should have his way in this fight if Haney is that pound for pound dude. And it's going to be, so Kambosos is going to need a lot of help to have this fight close. And I'm talking minus the judges. We all understand he might be up 2-0 right now. He might be up 2-0 right now. You know what I'm saying?
And still lose 12-0 in the fight.
Still lose. So he could have a scenario where he's up 3-0. Devin Haney is so skilled. His skill is so superior to Kambosos. He should be able, this should look like a Bivol Canelo type situation where he pretty much sweeps the majority of these rounds.
Do you think Devin Haney's, and this is what I keep saying to people, do you think Devin Haney's lack of power is, I don't think he has a lack of power. I just think he throws shots that are easy to see. Everything, he doesn't really throw shots from angles that's difficult to see. And we all know the knockout shots are the ones you don't see. Majority of the shots he throws is right in front of his opponent's eye line. You're on mute.
Fucking the man, the goddamn aircraft flying over my head. My bad. That's why I said, bro, you gotta use what strength you have differently to make it effective. Like Shane is saying, his front foot power isn't there. Why? Because it's the traditional left hook that they see coming. So either they rolling with it, catching it right, or it's eatable. So throw something different. Suck somebody in. Stand on your back foot. Throw something with the hip and the legs coming behind it, instead of just being all shoulder, all upper body.
I agree, Vlog. I definitely agree with that. I think Haney's main issue is, as skilled as he is two things that he doesn't do, and I wish he does it more. Number one, he doesn't change the speed of his shots. He don't throw you that curveball and then throw you the fastball. A lot of his stuff is fastball. A lot of his shots had the same velocity, same trajectory, but he's so technically sound that he gets away with it. He gets away with it. Like, he literally gets away with it. I get
to a point. Only,
you know what I mean? He literally gets away with it.
Takes a little something off would be the jab. Sometimes it's that stiff hard jab. Sometimes it's a quick double up. That's about the only one, but I get you with his right
Haney
hand.
Haney don't throw those.
Like it's targeted. You know how Haney, they lock you with the aircraft? Like, we locked in. It's almost like that.
No, I agree with that. And Haney doesn't. Now, the great fighters, what the great fighters do, they may throw you 2-3 dummy shots, but they really want that shot to the body. He don't throw a lot of probing shots to get the shot that he really wants.
He don't set up that money shot.
He don't set up the money shot.
Everything's the money shot.
Can we give some credit to Padman? And he was talking about the snap of the shots, like just giving it a different crispiness. You know what I mean? Like what he's doing to try to tweak it a little bit. I get this point where that could change the power. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's one punch that he doesn't use that could be effective in this fight. He doesn't use it very much.
I brought this up in the article. So you brought up Padman. I brought this up in the article, and I think someone touched on it yesterday, where I say a lot of it. He spent last 4 camps working with Ben Davison, and Ben Davison does improve his fighters technically, but a lot of his fighters don't have that spite on their punches. You look at when Ben Davison started working with Billy Joe Saunders. Look at when Ben Davison started working with Tyson Fury. And look at what happened when Tyson Fury left. You see my point? All of a sudden, you don't see that same spite. And I'm just saying, since he's been with Ben Davison, he hasn't even scored a knockdown. Forget a knockout. He hasn't even scored a knockdown. So to me, I'm just thinking that now that Ben Davison's out the camp, I know seeing Ben Davison's pad work, he focuses a lot on punch placement and punch accuracy. And you can see he's got punch accuracy. Devin Haney's got that in abundance. But there's a certain art to knocking a dude out. Go ahead.
Can I say this about Ben Davison that I noticed, bringing up the names that you brought up? All these guys had technical medical issues. So maybe his style is to have him more sharp for the game than killer. Because, again, you're talking about a guy that, issues with cocaine and things like that, and Fury. And then, obviously, Billy Joe with the poor testing. So, we got Haney with the shoulder. So, he came in around the shoulder situation. So, maybe he came in to keep Haney technical through the injury. And that took something off the real steam and the natural velocity and veracity that Shane is asking for, and that we all kind of as fans ask for.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think he just got worse at it. He was doing that before the shoulder injury. It was just more evident after he came back from the shoulder injury. But he's that good though. He's that good to where he can get away with it. There's not a lot of fighters that can get away with that.
But Jeff, you brought up the point of changing the variation of your speed. At lightweight, in boxing, there's a lot of people that do it, but at lightweight, there's not many that do it. Tank doesn't do it that well. I mean, Ryan Garcia definitely don't do it. I mean, who really varies the punch of their speed at lightweight?
Well, I will say this about them too, Tank and Ryan Garcia. They don't vary the speed, but they will set things up.
Yeah,
I will give them that. They do set things up. That's the things that Devin doesn't do, and I'm looking for him to make that transition, to start doing that.
I can say the young boy, Keyshawn, he's a guy that I'm impressed with the consistency of his punch. Like, it'll start soft, then it's open, then he'll really rip the second one. So he's a guy that does what we're talking about right now. Obviously, that's going to get better.
Agreed.
I gotta say it. I have to say it, Blunt. I also haven't seen that what just talking about. I haven't seen it in Boots neither. I haven't seen a slow game with Boots neither. Maybe that's because he's just too good and too powerful. But I ain't really seen a slow game neither. I'm
gonna say this in defense of Boots. His slow game is when he throws the singles. That's the patience. It's just a hard single. That's slow.
Shane tried to turn this into a 3-hour show, man, and I had a feeling he was going there.
I hit him real quick on the defense.
I just done that out of fun. I done that out of fun.
I feel you. Hold on. DM3 said, "What up, fam?" DM3, big shout out to you, family. Burt Wood, 100-1 bet Loma. Tell him vlog. Are you talking about Loma over Haney?
That's a tough fight.
No. I think he's talking about 100-1 Loma over Kambosos. That people would say is the harder fight. That Loma is the harder fight. Haney.
I got you.
Is Loma who's the harder fight for Kambosos?
I'm not gonna say, bro. I can't say I disagree with him because currently I do rank both these guys right there. Like, if you're really looking at who's next to get this opportunity after this 2-fight situation, milkage is done, it would be Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, but him against Kambosos, it's a hard fight for Kambosos. Again, another situation where you looking skill to skill is one-sided per se. You see what I'm saying?
I can only see And this shows you how less of a fighter I rate Kambosos. Like he's a nice 6 out of 10, but even Ryan
He's
Garcia,
undefeated, bro. That's a little bit disrespectful. He undefeated, and he has a couple names that's recognizable, accomplished guys. Selby accomplished, Tifimo accomplished, Road Warrior. So I think we gotta give him a little bit more respect than a 6, Shane. I don't like him personally, but I gotta respect him.
On a nice day, I'll say 6.2. But moving on past that,
Is that Stone Cold, Shane?
Because I will pick Ryan Garcia to beat him, and I think Ryan Garcia is only a 7 out of 10. So that's my point.
6.2.
That is, hey, he came in with a 6-pack. He came in with a 6-pack in the cooler full of ice. Stone Cold.
Because I'm keeping it real. I thought Teofimo had the worst night of his life. I thought Teofimo had the worst night of his life and still dropped this dude. And I think Kambosos had the best night of his life and he still got dropped. So I mean, what are we saying, bro? What are we actually saying? Like
this nigga said on a nice day he's a 6.2. Like,
but if we're talking about
that's why we call him Ice Cold Shane. That's why we call him Ice Cold Shane.
He won't even be in my top 30 pound for pound right now. I swear to God. He ain't even.
Shane, show the people you're cooler. Show the people you're cooler,
Ice
man.
Cold Shane, man. That's why we call him Ice Cold Shane, man.
I'm not really. I'm being dead serious, bro.
I know, but that's funny as hell.
I want to lean your way because I don't like this dude. I don't like his media unsavviness. He's unsavvy media-wise, so I don't like that. But at the same time, I can't equate the two and say, well, boxing-wise, it isn't respectable. It's got to be more respectable than a 6.2 Stone Cold.
Well, I would say Devin Haney. I'll say Devin Haney's an 8 out of 10. I won't say Kambosos is one level lower than Devin Haney. Devin
Haney's a 9 out of 10.
Nah, bro. I'm sorry. He ain't 9 out of 10 to me.
Power in the recent fights.
Devin Haney don't seem a 9 out of 10 to me. Pound for pound. For you to be a 9 out of 10 pound for pound, you have to be top 5 pound for pound for me.
This nigga new name is Stone Cold Shane Austin and shit. That's his new name and shit. Stone Cold Shane Austin, man, in the building. I gotta get a sound bite where I get Stone Cold music and shit, so I can play that shit during the lives.
No, this Shane O'Mac, he out here snapping bitches in these boxing streets.
Shane O'Mac got his pimp hand out, man. Let me get through these last few fellas. Burt Wood, G5, Donaire, how can he beat Inui? 2, are y'all calling the fight on Tuesday in the 8th?
If I ain't on jury service, I'll be calling it.
To be honest with you, Burt Wood, he needs help from Inui. Inui needs to have an off night.
And I don't think so. I don't think so.
I think
you know why? Because Inui gets greedy and Donaire does have punch power.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, Donaire ain't no spring chicken either. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you almost knocked Inui out last time.
He's real young in these last couple fights, bro.
Yeah, listen, he's gonna need help. Because if Inui's on his game, he's losing. He needs help.
I'm gonna do it to you like this. I think Inui uses too much movement. That movement is going.
I actually like the movement.
No, what I'm saying is that's going to keep him with the edge in the fight. That
okay, I see what you're saying.
Is automatically.
But people were saying that about Obali, though. People were saying that about Obali, and Obali got ice cold.
No, Obali didn't come in there warmed up, bro. You seen, dude, he didn't have no sweat on him. I don't know if the man got out of ice bath or something, but he was cold.
That's his fault.
I mean, he didn't get a chance to warm up. So, you know what I'm saying?
If Nonito Donaire beats Inui, bro, that dude is an all-time great.
No, he's the all-time legend. Legend.
If he beats Inui, they better have a goddamn boat right there at the dock and get his ass off that motherfucking island, bro. Because them Japanese folks might go fucking crazy. That's a rival.
Yo.
They rival the Philippines. That's a rival. You know the fans out there ain't gonna like that.
Donaire gonna be like, yo. Donaire gonna be like, yo. Let me go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. He goes right out the back door with the duffel bag like this. Like.
That reminds me of when Majumov was fighting that dude. Who was it? Sorrow in Uzbekistan.
Yeah.
And Blood was like, bro, they better have the helicopter on.
Man, drop the ladder through the ceiling. Right. Out the ring because you in Russia, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can expect some chicanery. You seen what happened in Phoenix. Shit didn't go right at a fight. You know what I'm saying? People act up if they expect a certain outcome.
Yeah, why some said 6.2 laughing. People forget Kambosos almost got stopped. That's true. I definitely ain't forget it for sure. Burt Wood, funny statement last night. Mayweather Promotion said more people talking about Tank versus Rolly over Kambosos versus Haney. Listen. Let me say this. Let me say this real quick. When Tank fights, he brings the people out. It's no doubt about it. He did the most numbers in Barclay history. Like there's no getting around. Like he's not supposed to do that versus Rolly. Let's just keep it real. Like he's not.
I got a question. And this is I guess it's for myself as well. If Kambosos legitimately beats Devin Haney, where's he on you guys pound for pound list?
I don't even think he's on mine.
After beating Haney and Teofimo Lopez.
Still not on mine.
Number one. Hold up, Jeff. Don't we say accolades is a big key to pound for pound, what you've accomplished?
I agree.
So is the very first undisputed not a major accolade?
It is, but my boxing eye tells me he's not pound for pound, and I can't get past that. Bro, I agree with everything you're saying, bro.
He wouldn't be at like he wouldn't be at like 6 or 7. We're like nowhere in that range.
No, and you know the thing that's funny, Shane. Shane asked this question, and he's gonna call me off camera and be like, "Yo, he's still not on my pound for pound list."
No,
because he still think he's trash.
No, but the truth is, bro, if he beats Devin Haney, he's gonna have to do something in that fight that's gonna get my respect.
Are we talking decisive? Like
just
decisive. Okay.
Decisive.
If it's a decisive ass whooping, then I gotta throw him in. I gotta throw him in the back half. I gotta throw him in the back half. Even though I don't like it.
Let me put this out there to you.
Yeah.
What if in the victory there's like no knockdowns, but let's say like Kambosos clips him a couple times? Is there with something like that around? You know, Devin can still box. He's still doing his 1-2. Is something like that scenario enough where we can edge Kambosos in a fight? You know what I'm saying? Like, because in the Charlo first fight with Castano, nobody gave credit to the way he knocking him around the ring compared to the volume that Castano seemed to have been putting out. So I'm trying to say, would that work differently for Kambosos being at home?
That's a good question because because people think if so let's just say a guy hurts a guy 3 times in a fight. He hurts him twice in the same round and hurts him again in another round. It's still a 12-round fight. Like people think like, oh, he hurt him 3 times, he won the whole fight. Like it don't play out like that. Like it don't play out like that. Like it's judged round by round. So I do understand what you're saying, Vlog. That's a good question. I don't know. Like that's a good question. I really don't know.
I think
that was the longest yawn I ever seen in my life on camera. He looked stuck. I'm getting ready to end it, but he looked stuck. That joint was like he like even slow dancing. Like go ahead, Shay.
I think that you got my chain of thought. I think when we're talking about Devin Haney and the pound for pound and Kambosos, if he was to beat the fact that he beat Devin Haney and beat Kambosos. I mean, he beat Devin Haney and beat Teofimo Lopez. To me, it would solidify him in a pound for pound ranking for me.
Yeah, I would have to. As much as I wouldn't want to, I would have to.
Now you come around after Shane said you're coming around.
I said what made me come around. I said, is it decisive? He said decisive, so that's what brought me around.
Oh, okay.
The type of victory. YSM said, drop the ladder through the ceiling. Yeah, that's some WWE shit. Yeah, that's definitely some WWE type shit, man. Listen, we're gonna close this out right here, man. 2 hours and 5 minutes strong, man. Plenty quotables up in this joint. Had a big ass crowd up in here today. Burt was sneaking in a comment. Does the promoter pay for the judges? The promoter pays for the judges, but the sanctioning bodies are the ones that actually pick the judges.
The commission,
depending on the commission. Yeah, it's the commission. You know what I'm saying? So that's usually how that goes.
Nope. It's what's it called? Nope. It's the sanctioning body. I know that firsthand. Trust me.
But the sanctioning body is connected with the commission now.
So basically,
no, because the commission moves like the regional, whatever you're at. So the sanctioning body moves. The commission don't.
The sanctioning, every commission will have licensed WBC referees,
correct,
WBC judges, WBA judges, WBC referees. Every commission, I will tell you for a fact. I'm not asking. I'll tell you for a fact. The sanctioning bodies, the WBC, WBA, WO, those are the ones who pick the judges. The reason how I know that is because I was at a fight where Mauricio Suleiman was there, and he did not agree with the judge that was there, so he removed the WBC from the fight. I swear to God.
You know what, I remember you saying that too.
Because remember the Fox in the Gabriel fight or whatever that dude, that Spanish dude name was, that his dude, the dude wife was the judge. So I guess they do have say so on who the fuck.
Yeah. I remember that. The WBA dude. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
She was, man, they was like, yo, you better have me winning this fight or you on the couch. You sleeping on the couch for a long period of time.
Man, but, like, yo, that's our guy.
Yeah, that's our guy for real.
A lot of money.
That's a fact, man.
Because they had him ranked like third, and that was like his second fight or some crazy shit.
Yeah, we gonna close this joint out, man. 2 hours 7 minutes long, man. This was a quality show, man. Big shout out to everybody that stepped up in here. Vlog, give him a spiel so we can get up out of here.
Man, Boxing First, the number one STVLOG on Instagram. Boxing First Vlog spelled out word-wise on YouTube. Same thing on Twitter. Hit me up, man. I'm busy. We writing on G5JeffTV.com.
Where at?
G5JeffTV.com.
Okay.
So
what was the article? What was the title of the article you just dropped? What was
that? It's Division Kings Part 1, and the other one coming. But I'm gonna slap you with a one in between. So the writing is gonna be coming quick, fast, man. You dig? Like we producing a paper every day.
Absolutely. Shane, give him your social media, good brother.
I'm Shane, the number one. Right now I'm spent. So yeah.
Exclusively on Instagram and exclusively spent. I'm all over the place, man. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. G5JeffTV, website G5JeffTV.com. Go check out Blunt's article. You can go on his website, on his Instagram, go pick it up. You go to his Twitter, go pick it up. You can go to mine, go pick it up. You go to Shane's, go pick it up. There's no reason that you should be reading Google News. Big shout out to Google News for holding us down. There's no reason why you shouldn't be reading that article. Like, it's a must read and it's relevant to what's going on in the sport right now. It ain't one of them random ass articles that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. So I need for y'all to go check that out. Big shout out to Padman McGriff. Go check that article out as well. That was penned by VP Shane. Big shout out to Padman McGriff. And I got 2 articles coming.
Did you post a Blunt article on the YouTube community?
Yes, so it was also in the YouTube community as well. So You know, you're getting a lot of written articles. You're getting a lot of
Interviews.
just you're getting a little bit of everything. But again, big shout out to Tay Jones, showing love. Big shout out to him. Big shout out to Drew Titan for showing love as well, man. We really appreciate it, man. We will be back tomorrow. We're gonna get into final predictions. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the videos and stuff. It's just literally not a lot of videos of these two guys' fights, and it's not on the premier channel. That's going to get us flagged immediately. I need one of them subpar channels to actually host the full fight so we can watch it.
I got
if you can find it, send me the link, and we'll use that as film study. So we're gonna do that tomorrow. Final predictions. And we're gonna get into this fight. And I heard Danny got a fight coming up. I heard Danny signed a fight.
Jose Benavidez Jr.
Yes, Junior.
And another trash fight.
And then I also heard AB coming back. I also heard that too. I gotta get more details on that.
Who's he fighting?
I don't know. I gotta get the details on that. But I heard AB coming back in July. But so we got a lot to talk about tomorrow, but mainly Haney Kambosos final predictions, and we're gonna do. Oh, you know what? I got another one too before we roll. Carl Dargan's actually gonna be on that card too, on the Fulton fight. Yep. So that's a Philly dude, Nazim Richardson protege. So good to see him back in action too, man. So listen, on behalf of VP Shane, aka Ice Cold Shane, aka Stone Cold Shane Austin, Boxing First Vlog, aka the General, aka Blunt, aka Blunt Bayless, aka Mr. 1K, your boy G5 Jeff TV, aka G5, aka 5, aka the Guru. On behalf of the staff, we will see y'all tomorrow. Appreciate y'all.